All right, welcome back, everybody, to yet another episode of Cinephile Rehab. You thought we were done, but we're not.
No, still haven't got canceled.
There was no indication that we were ending the show at all.
This is episode 11 too.
Yeah, episode 11.
It kind of reminds me of that tragedy.
Yeah.
What, Julia? 9/11 was a tragedy.
Who mentioned 9/11? All right, I'm Phil.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Julia.
She's always slow on the draw.
Yeah, she's. Sorry. Come on now, Smokes. Let's go.
Sorry.
We got some fun activities for everybody today.
We got some more trivia.
Yep. It's only a 10-question trivia.
Battle of the fucking buzzers.
Battle of the buzzers. Okay, so this trivia.
Oh, Lord.
Huh?
Go ahead.
Hit us with it.
So this trivia is only one-word movie titles. So whatever movie this is, it's just one word. That's the title of the movie.
Got it.
There's only 10 questions, so it should be. I feel like these are pretty easy, but we'll see.
Let's do it.
Okay. Question 1. Which 2000 historical drama directed by Ridley Scott?
Gladiator.
Yes. I didn't even finish the damn question, Philip. I'm sorry.
I could have fucked up there. He directed Black Hawk Down the same year.
Okay. Which 2010 sci-fi film starred Leonardo DiCaprio as a professional thief who steals information by infiltrating... Philip?
Was it Philip?
Yes.
Inception.
Correct.
I don't know why I waited so fucking long on that one.
I know. As soon as I said sci-fi Leo, I thought, oh,
yeah,
Lord.
Sci-fi kind of threw me off a little bit. I was like, what?
This one's an animated one, so you probably won't get it. And I'm happy about that. Which 2011 Easter-themed animated comedy featured the voice of Russell Brand as the Easter Bunny?
No fucking clue.
I don't think either one of you are going to get this, which is good.
No, I pass.
It's hot.
I don't like Easters or bunnies.
Yeah.
So.
Or Russell Brand.
Yeah, or Russell Brand.
Yeah, or Russell Brand.
Which 1958 Alfred Hitchcock thriller starred James Stewart as a...
Vertigo.
Correct.
Okay.
All right, this is a dead giveaway. Ellen Page played the title character... Philip, that was you.
Juno.
Yep.
This is neck and
It's
neck
tied.
right here.
It's tied.
It's neck and neck.
Okay. Which 2008 historical thriller starred Tom Cruise as Colonel Klaus?
Valkyrie.
Yes. Which 2017 superhero film starred Hugh Jackman?
Logan.
Right. Philip, I'm going to need you to get on that.
I'm waiting for my moment to start.
In which 2018 film does Christian Bale play the part of Joseph Blocker, a captain?
Hostiles.
Correct.
I had no idea.
I wouldn't have done that either. Which 1983 Al Pacino? That was Philip.
Scarface.
You're right. And last question. Which 1996 action thriller features U.S. Marshal John Kruger, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, who specializes in faking the deaths of high-profile witnesses to keep them safe?
Holy shit.
Which 1996 action thriller features U.S. Marshal John Kruger, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, who specializes in faking the deaths of high-profile witnesses to keep them safe?
I've seen it.
I have no idea.
It's such a Arnold character. John Kruger. My name's John Kruger.
Terminator.
No.
1996. John Kruger. It's not Total Recall.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, one word.
One word.
One word. Ooh. Oh. It ain't Commando.
No.
No.
Is this a no-go? Eraser.
Yeah.
I would have never guessed that.
Fuck. I've seen it. I just couldn't remember the name
It was
of
a
it.
good movie. I like that movie. Ryan, you are still the champion. But Philip, you did good.
Gets me on the
Why are you
buzzer.
buzzing? The buzzer gets you? What's the next time? You just want to shout it at me?
No. 'Cause that's too
It's too chaotic.
yeah.
It would be stupid chaotic.
We'd be fighting each other.
We would. It would be chaos. Okay. Who's gonna announce the next
We got
segmento?
a fucking amazing spotlight for the one and only Kathy Bates.
The females.
Masturbates.
No.
Great actress. Great actress. You good over there, Julia?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think we got through 6 minutes before chaos
Hey.
started.
I'm a child.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Can't help it.
We love you.
Obviously, that she's the first actress in history to ever win Best Actress for a horror movie
That's correct.
with Misery. So it takes a really good performance, I would say, to achieve that accomplishment.
Yeah.
Because there was plenty of others before her that had a chance but didn't get it.
Right.
I agree.
What's your favorite Kathy Bates film, Julia?
Me? So I think that my favorite is Fried Green Tomatoes.
Yep, it's a good one.
I freaking love that movie. She had the greatest one-liners in that movie.
Right.
I remember watching that with my grandma.
It's such a good movie. I watched it not too long ago because I needed something to watch, and it just was on Hulu, and I was like, okay, I'm going to watch this
It's
again.
feel good.
Yeah, it truly is. It's a great story, too. And she
Yeah.
plays a great character.
Yeah. What about you, Philip?
I mean, of course, there's Misery, but I want to mention something else besides that. There's a movie called Love Liza that I've seen. It stars Philip Seymour Hoffman, and the premise is his wife commits suicide, and he's like dealing with the trauma.
Wow.
And Kathy Bates plays Hoffman's mother-in-law in the movie.
Interesting.
So the mother of his wife who killed herself. You know?
Damn.
And the whole time
Never heard of that.
she left a note behind, but he can't get himself to open it and read it. And Kathy Bates is like egging him on, trying to get him to open the letter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's it sounds depressing as fuck, and it is, but it's like a black comedy, super dark comedy. You know what I mean?
Philip Seymour Hoffman never misses with his performances.
Yeah.
So,
And she's incredible in that movie. So
yeah.
She's a great actress.
yeah.
I would also say Misery, but I'd have to say, have y'all ever seen About Schmidt
Yes.
with Jack Nicholson?
She was really good in that.
I love her in that movie. She's so great in that movie. But nothing beats Misery.
Yeah.
I don't
definitely.
think anything could beat Misery. I mean, she breaks out that 4x4, shit's getting,
Oh man.
you're like,
Especially if
what's
you've
going-
read the book and then you watch the movie,
Oh,
you're
the-
like, oh shit.
Well, the book, she torches his legs with
Yeah.
a flamethrower.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's the worst, one of the worst stories I have ever read. It was traumatizing.
Think
to read
about
that
being
book.
that guy. You just wake up and the first thing you are strapped to the bed,
Right.
and then this psycho bitch puts a fucking 4x4 in between your ankles. You're like, all right, this is getting a little weird. And then she pulls out a sledgehammer.
Right.
Whew.
It's not what I paid for.
Yeah, it's not what
know,
I paid
right?
for. No, not at all. Not. Oh,
Want my money
It
back.
is terrifying.
Whew. That foot goes in a complete fucking
I know.
90-degree
Right.
angle. Oh,
That's one of the hardest things to watch.
oh
Is
shit.
anything to do with the ankles.
And
Like,
it's so quick too,
yeah.
the shot. But fuck, you feel every bit of it.
Yeah.
Right.
I also loved her, and I know the movie did not get the best of ratings, but I loved her in Dolores Claiborne,
Yes.
the Stephen King novel,
Yes.
because that story is fucked up.
So
If you know that, if you've read the book, it is fucked up.
he so after he saw her performance in Misery, he ended up writing Dolores Claiborne with her in mind for the role that she played
Oh, she's
because he
epic.
was so floored by her performance.
Have you seen that movie, Philip?
I have not.
Oh God,
It's a
good.
really good one.
It's a fucked up story, but it's a great.
Jennifer Jason Leigh. She's in it too, right?
Yes,
And
she
then-
plays the daughter.
And the husband's David Starahan.
I don't remember the husband's
He's
name.
just that.
He was
face.
popular back then.
Yeah,
though.
back in the day. Yeah.
But that was a incredible. The movie again got shitty reviews, but I
love it.
I felt like she did
I love
a
it.
great job.
Yeah. Yeah. She beat cancer apparently too.
She did.
That's how badass Kathy Bates is.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. One thing I wanted to mention too is she has incredible range too. She can play just about any role.
Mhm.
I agree.
She's played in movies, TV, everything, and
Mhm.
villains, good guys,
Yeah.
gray characters that
Yeah.
are like in between,
She's actually really good in Titanic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put Titanic down. She played the unsinkable Molly Brown.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She did a really good job in Titanic, I have to say.
Yeah.
And we can't forget her as Mama in The Waterboy.
Of course.
Mama
Fuck
said, Mama
yeah.
said,
Mama
said.
Boucher.
Yep. She was
You
hilarious
know what?
in that movie.
That's my favorite.
Oh, really? She was so funny in that. When she was dying.
And that just shows her range right there.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
She
'Cause
can play comedy,
Yeah.
drama, everything.
Yeah.
that's a fucking classic. That's a guilty pleasure right there.
Yeah.
Oh, truly. I was telling them that my daughter's dad, my daughter's grandmother went to high school with Kathy Bates.
Oh,
And
wow.
they whenever they have a class reunion, she comes back for it.
We need some autographs.
I know, right?
We need some
It has crossed my mind 100
autographs.
times.
Can crash the reunion. Yeah.
When you get a
So we can meet Kathy Bates.
Yeah.
tell her to get a sledgehammer signed for us. That would be
Yeah.
to have that hanging on your fucking wall in here.
Mm-hmm.
A sledgehammer signed by the one and only Kathy Bates,
It would be pretty epic.
Right.
Master Bates.
No. No. No.
She also played in. I don't know if y'all saw it. She played. It's her last Oscar nomination she got was the Ballad of Richard Jewell.
Yeah.
I
I
don't know
did
if
see
you
her
ever
in
saw
that too.
It's a hell of a true story right there.
Yeah, I agree.
It's Clint Eastwood, right?
Yeah, I had this. That's probably his last good. That he looks like the fucking crypt keeper. Like he needs to just hang it up. He needs to hang it up. I never even saw the mule. No, I saw the mule. What was the Western he made?
I can't even remember now.
Who knows? Fuck it. Anyways, Kathy Bates.
Kathy Bates is amazing.
And The Office. She's great in The Office.
Yeah.
She is.
She's one of
Yeah.
the best side characters in that
I
show.
agree.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I liked her. a
Her
lot
and
in that.
Robert California. The fucking Lizard King.
God,
Right.
he was. Oh, don't get me started on that one.
You don't like Robert California?
No, he was so unnecessary.
That's one of my favorite. All right. We're going to take a small break. And I'm going to.
They're going to tussle.
I'm going to beat her.
The only
with a
episode
pool
that I
cue.
like with him in it was when they went to his mansion or his house or whatever.
We've got some action on the TV right now.
Is the TV going on?
Yep.
The
Oh, how did that happen?
We're having testicle difficulties.
Just turned it off. It was on mute. I don't understand.
Copyright. Yeah.
You know, we're getting shut down.
Yep.
Anyway, anybody
right.
else got
Anything
anything
else
to say
on-
about
No.
Ms. Kathy Bates?
If you don't know who she is, you better fucking educate yourself. That's all I got to say.
Everybody knows who Kathy
I'm about to
Bates
say,
is.
if nobody knows who Kathy Bates is, then they have some bigger problems.
She's like
Yeah.
the president,
Yeah.
I know, right?
All right. Moving on.
We got the
Moving on.
80s up next.
Yep.
The 1980s, we're rolling with the same thing we've been doing the past, 2-3 episodes?
Yep.
Picking
Movies through the decades.
our favorite films of each decade. And we are on the 1980s, the cocaine era.
Which is what I think was probably one of the best decades of movies, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
After going through it and seeing all the films that I've seen in the 80s, it was like, damn.
I grew up in the 80s, so these were all the movies that I watched as I was growing up.
Yeah.
So that's why I think I like them the most.
All right. Who wants to kick
Who's
it
going to
off?
start? Because I think these lists are going to be crazy. Same rules apply.
Right.
If we duplicate, we just chime in
Yeah.
Right.
and scratch it off and not talk about it again.
I think
Cool.
I'll have a bunch of stuff that everyone has. So.
Okay, you go first then, Philip.
Okay. Up first, I got Full Metal Jacket.
I didn't put it down, but I knew you guys would put that down.
Came out in '87. I thought that movie was older than that, to be honest with you.
I did too, but he took long breaks in between each film that he made.
Right. Yeah. Got Scarface too.
Right. Check.
We just got the exact same list.
I did not
verbatim.
write that down because I knew you guys would put that down 100%.
Hey,
Here's one. I
Cockroach.
got Blue Velvet by Mr. David Lynch.
That was a
David
great
Lynch.
movie.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got Come and See, the Russian film,
That I think I've seen, but I don't remember.
Russian war film. It came out in 1985, but I think it was made earlier than that. And it just took like 10 years to get past the Russian censors
Yeah.
because they were still the Soviet Union at the
Oh
time.
my.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
And it kind of,
It's a good family movie. Y'all should all check it out.
they said it made the Russian army look weak during World War II, you know? Like,
I think it's my favorite war film
yeah,
of all
definitely.
time.
Yeah. I put First Blood with Stallone.
There you
Oh,
go.
nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
I fucking love that movie.
Fuck
That
yeah,
is a
dude.
great movie.
First Blood's the shit.
Yeah.
First Blood is the shit.
Yeah, dude.
I dig it.
Stallone's a good actor. I don't care what
He
anyone
is.
says. Like,
So have y'all ever seen Copland,
I
No.
haven't.
where he plays this? Oh, y'all, neither one.
Don't look at me like that.
Holy shit! He plays like a small town sheriff in New Jersey, where all the New York City cops live in this small town, and they basically own the town, and they're all crooked. It's got Harvey Keitel, Ray Liotta. Ray Liotta's like his coked up ex-cop buddy in the movie. It's one of my favorite Ray Liotta
Well,
performances.
I might have to see
Y'all-
that.
But that is Sylvester's best performance, if you ask me.
Okay.
Y'all definitely need to check that out.
Okay.
Proceed.
And the last one I got is Terminator.
Terminator.
I didn't even write it down because I knew you guys
Yeah.
would.
Like, that's a fucking horror movie, dude.
Sarah Connor.
Yeah. The first one is a sci-fi horror, dude.
It's pretty fucking scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got
I
this like
agree.
unstoppable machine
And a
coming after you at all times.
killer soundtrack.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Dude,
Killer
did you know
soundtrack.
Schwarzenegger trained himself to not blink when he fires a gun?
Really?
That's pretty badass.
Yeah, because a robot wouldn't need to blink at all.
Right.
That's true.
Wow. Wow.
So if you watch the movie, you can
dedication.
see anytime he's holding the gun, he's making this really weird face. So he's probably straining so hard, trying not to blink.
Trying
Like,
not to fucking blink. Damn. Wow.
Damn.
Commitment. He's
I know,
another
right?
one that I think is a good actor
Yeah, yeah.
when he gets the right role.
He was perfect as the the T-800, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Terminator 2
He
is
is.
the T-1000.
T-1000.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sarah Connor.
All right, so that's all I got.
You want to go next because I think your list is longer than mine, and that's
I
saying
got a
something.
lot.
That's what she said.
Oh my god.
So, by far my favorite film of the 80s is Raging Bull.
Okay.
Okay.
I think it has the best opening sequence. And if people wonder why that movie is such a masterpiece, it's because Martin Scorsese was at a point in his career where he wanted to move to Italy and start making Italian films. And so he was going to make Raging Bull his last American film.
Wow.
And he went all out on it.
Interesting.
Great movie.
There you go.
Stand By Me.
That's on my list.
Of course.
I love that movie.
Fucking gets to me every time.
You want to see a dead body?
Want to see a
They-
dead body?
They made so many Stephen King novels in the 1980s.
Oh, yeah.
And so they were going with the actual name of the short story called The Body.
Yeah.
But then I think he caught Rob Reiner walked by Kiefer Sutherland and River Phoenix, and Kiefer Sutherland was playing the song Stand By Me to him. And Rob Reiner got the idea to title it Stand By Me.
We need to spotlight Rob Reiner.
Hell of a
Meathead.
director.
Yeah.
Hell of a director. The Thing,
Okay.
for obvious reasons.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
knew you'd have that, so I did not even put it on here.
Rain Man,
Okay.
Rain Man. Okay.
I forgot that came out in the 80s.
Yeah.
one of my favorite John Cusack films, Better Off Dead.
I love that movie. Oh my God, I forgot about
You
that
remember
movie.
the Chinese dudes that
Yep.
always pull up next to him and they put the gloves on, getting ready to race?
I fucking love John Cusack.
He's in the garage with trying to hang himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, no, I ain't going to do it. And then his mom opens the door and kicks him off. And he's like sitting there hanging. Oh, man. It's a classic.
I love that movie. It's a great one.
Aliens,
Okay.
the sequel.
Okay.
One of the best sequels of all time, I'd say.
I agree.
I have a movie called Ordinary People, directed by Robert Redford.
Really?
You
I've
don't-
seen it. That's why I was like,
It's a very
that's why I'm a little
very
surprised.
depressing, but he won Best Picture, Best Director for
Yeah,
that film.
it is
so.
a very depressing movie.
Once Upon a Time in America, Sergio Leone's last great masterpiece. Amadeus, Blood Simple, Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Nice.
Spicoli, man. Paris, Texas. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of that. It's it's got our boy Harry Dean Stanton in it from Repo Man.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
He
haven't
doesn't
seen that.
speak a lick of dialogue for 45 minutes. It's
Wow.
a very beautiful film, like color-wise.
What's it called again?
Paris,
Paris,
Texas.
Texas. Okay.
It's on HBO Max.
Okay.
My favorite David Lynch film, Elephant Man.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
good one. I didn't write that down.
And I would say this is my solid number 2 favorite of the decade is Mississippi Burning.
I knew you were going to talk about that
How'd you know that?
because you guys talked about it on another podcast.
I fucking
Damn.
love Gene Hackman in
Jerk.
that movie. Love Gene Hackman in that movie. Major League,
Okay.
Great one.
Platoon,
Great one.
Of course.
The Shining,
Great one.
Damn.
I'm telling you, the 80s had the best movies. I promise you.
Yeah.
Back to the Future,
Yep. I didn't even write it down because I think that's just a given.
Right.
Blade Runner,
Blade
Okay.
Runner. Yep.
Raiders of the Lost Ark,
Yep.
RoboCop.
I got RoboCop. Yay.
Fucking
I feel like I
brutal.
played bingo here.
I watched
Yeah.
that way too young.
Dude.
I love RoboCop.
When they
Or-
fuck him up in the very beginning, they're like blowing limbs off and shit.
Mhm.
Fucking Red Foreman, dude.
Yeah.
I know,
Fucking
yeah.
Red Foreman.
It
Red
is.
Foreman, dude. I like the part where the guy gets sprayed with like the acid or whatever, and it like immediately turns him into a mutant zombie thing.
Yes.
He's sprayed with the chemicals or whatever.
That's what revitalized that dude's career. The
Really?
guy that played Red Foreman.
Wow.
He said if he didn't take that role, that he probably wouldn't have had the career he had. Die Hard,
Yeah.
Great.
Street Smart, and that is a movie that features Christopher Reeve and Morgan Freeman playing the most despicable pimp you will ever see in a fucking movie.
What is it called?
Street Smart.
Have you seen that, Philip?
I have not.
It's you'll be shocked at how fucking evil Morgan Freeman, because Morgan Freeman never plays villains,
He doesn't really.
Not really.
and he's
yeah.
playing a motherfucking pimp. Like he be smacking these chicks and calling them bitches and shit.
Oh my God.
Damn.
Morgan Freeman, y'all, got a gold tooth and everything, dude. It's
Oh,
a
my.
badass movie. Badass movie. And then one of my favorite comedies of the decade,
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Airplane.
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 Quick. Pick the wrong day to quit smoking.
Yep.
Quick. Pick the wrong day to quit. What was it? Amphetamines.
Amphetamines.
I've got a foreign film called The Vanishing as well.
I've heard of it. I don't know if I've
It
necessarily.
got
seen
remade American in the 90s with Jeff Bridges, Kiefer Sutherland, and Sandra Bullock. A man's wife goes missing and somebody kidnaps her and buries her alive.
At the same time. goes missing and gets kidnapped.
She goes missing. Oh man,
It's pretty crazy.
Something may have happened before all this started. Yeah. That concludes my list. Over to Julia.
Oh man. Okay. So I'm gonna start my list because again, 80s was like my teens? My young and my teens. And any John Hughes movie,
Breakfast Club.
I was obsessed.
Yeah.
So 16 Candles, Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, Weird Science, just to name a few.
Right.
Best movies ever.
Those movies are like a snapshot of the 80s, though.
They are. Oh man, I love them. Ferris Bueller's Day Off for sure.
Yeah.
The best movie of the 80s, 100% was E.T. 110%.
There's a case, I guess.
That's a great. That movie, probably was the highest grossing movie of the 80s, I bet you.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to finger that little boy the entire movie.
Oh, God. The alien?
Yeah.
E.T.
If you really think about it.
No, I'm not thinking about that.
That's how you knew he was horny when that light started turning on. You're
moving
like,
on.
oh shit.
Moving on.
He's getting a stiffy. Fucking E.T.'s got a red rocket. I see what you were doing there, Spielberg.
Now that
Yeah.
movie has been destroyed.
We should remake E.T. Yeah.
Like that?
Like that?
Yes.
Yeah. It'd be parody. We could do that.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I'm sure Steven will give us his permission.
We don't need it.
My
It's parody.
God. It's a parody, yeah.
It's true.
Okay. So I also have Dead Poets Society,
Okay.
which is
Yep.
one of
Yeah.
Robin Williams'
Yeah.
greatest performances.
It's one of the ones I can't watch because it gets me emotional.
It is. It
Because
is
he's gone.
moving. Y'all guys left out the Goonies.
True.
Shit. That was
It is a classic.
probably the second highest grossing movie of the 80s.
It is a
Hey,
classic.
you guys.
I freaking love
Sloth.
Goonies. I can watch that any time of the day. It's such a
Hit
great
the truffle
movie.
shuffle.
Yep. Princess Bride. It was a great movie of the 80s. No, you like the Princess Bride.
I do.
I do
Don't
like.
even
I
lie.
like the Princess Bride.
Yeah.
Like,
Bill and Ted. It's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah.
excellent.
Excellent.
My dad loved that movie. He'd watch it all day if he could. He loved that fucking movie. And you also left out another one that we've talked about I think either you and I have talked about it or we've talked on a podcast, but Adventures in Babysitting.
Say again.
Adventures in Babysitting.
Don't know.
Never heard of it.
Yes, it's the one with Elizabeth Shue. We talked about it on a podcast. But it's a
Never
great
heard
movie
of
of
it.
the 80s.
I don't recall.
I
Okay,
don't
well, y'all
remember
are stupid.
anything.
And
Wow.
then
You know what?
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
What the hell?
Giving
and
us
talking about
here.
John
Yeah.
Cusack, another one of my favorite movies of the 80s is Say Anything. Because you can never, ever forget the boombox moment of that movie.
Right.
Ever.
That's somebody who needs to make a good comeback.
John Cusack.
Yeah.
He is a great actor.
Wasn't he on the Epstein list?
No
I
way.
don't know.
Oh,
I was
shit.
about to say,
I don't know.
damn,
I
that
was about to
breaks
say,
my
oh,
heart.
shit. Yes.
Damn it.
You know, they could just put anyone they want on that list. To be honest
I
with you.
know.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
I also have The Lost Boys. Was just a
Yup.
great horror movie of the 80s.
Yep. The Frog Brothers. Corey Feldman.
Yeah, and Corey Haim. Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
Another movie that I could watch all the time, anytime. It's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
9 to 5 with Dolly Parton.
Dolly.
Old Dolly.
That was a great
I think
movie.
I think they were showing that at the Belcourt not long ago.
Yeah, it's because it's a fantastic movie.
Can I just say, I want to see her tits.
They're probably
So,
weird.
what
now.
kind of
Moving on.
nipples do you think she got?
No,
Fake
no,
ones?
You think she's got
No.
like salami slices?
Plastic?
no,
Or are they like a pepperoni?
no,
They're plastic.
none. None.
You
Moving
don't want,
on, moving on.
You wouldn't want to see Dolly Parton's tits?
I also like the original Karate Kid.
hang on.
Ralph
We're not
Macchio.
changing the subject. I'm just
With
kidding.
Ralph Macchio and Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
That
Wax
was
on, wax off.
That was a great movie.
Yeah.
Fatal Attraction. You guys like Fatal Attraction?
That was one crazy bitch.
She was the craziest of bitches.
That's
I
where she put
agree.
the bunny rabbit in the pot, right?
It was, yeah. You have that
Fucking
soundbite.
bitch.
Oh no, you don't. You have the bunny from Con Air. Sorry. Beetlejuice
Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
came out in the 80s.
Yeah. 87, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then one of my favorite movies as a kid from the 80s was The Neverending Story.
Oof.
I'm telling you, something about when that horse is stuck in that
I was
muck.
about to say the
It-
horse.
you just sit there and you just cry. Even as like a 10-year-old, you just sit there and bawl your brains out.
We need to stop talking about it.
Portray you.
It's
That's a
PTSD right
breakdown.
there.
Yeah.
Having a moment.
No wonder he wears sunglasses to the.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I gotta hide the fact that I'm crying like a little bitch over here.
Yes, because it is intense. And then let's not forget the musicals of the 80s.
All right, I'm
Right
gonna
side's
go
so
take
loud.
a bathroom break, everybody.
But
Something
one of
to
the
drink.
greatest ones that I think is Purple Rain. No, don't buzz Purple Rain. You can get the hell out of my house. Do not buzz Prince and Purple Rain. That is, have you guys watched Purple Rain?
Nope.
Oh my. Philip, have you watched Purple Rain?
Maybe at some point, but I don't recall.
I hate you both. And we'll talk about Footloose because you guys hate that. And I love that you hate it because
Footloose.
it fills me full of joy that you hate it. Little Shop of Horrors with Rick Moranis.
No, I do like that.
That was a great one.
It's a great one.
The original Blues Brothers.
Okay.
Yep.
I can do with some Blues
Dan
Brothers.
I can
Aykroyd
dig
and Jim Belushi.
Fucking Ray Charles in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it had everybody. It had
Yeah.
Aretha Franklin in it.
Yeah.
It was
You-
an intense movie.
Did you say urethra?
And then there is a controversial musical of the 80s, starring Dolly Parton again. We'll talk about her again. But this one, it has Burt Reynolds in it. And it's the best little whorehouse in Texas. Have you ever seen that?
My mom likes that movie.
Because it is
No.
crazy
Yeah.
as hell. And I love that movie. Like, it's
Yeah.
one of my favorites. Don't sigh. Like,
Take old biddies.
But she does look fucking hot in that movie. I can't
she
lie.
was. They were all the women were in lingerie,
Yes.
like 99% of the movie.
Yeah. She
Pink
did
Floyd The
Playboy,
Wall
didn't she?
came out
I'm gonna have to
in the
check it out.
80s.
Who?
Pink Floyd's The Wall came out in
Oh,
the
yeah.
80s,
Yeah.
the movie.
True.
I actually love The Wall.
Yeah. And
That
then
is a
Labyrinth.
fucking horror movie.
It was.
Labyrinth's a fucking horror movie.
Labyrinth
if you're
scares
young
the
enough.
shit out of me as an adult.
Yes.
Dude,
It
was
scared
a-
the shit out of me as a kid. But
Did the
as
Dark
an adult-
Crystal come out in the 80s? Or is that the 90s? Because I was about to
No, I think it might have come out in the 80s too.
because that's
that one
another one.
scared
That
you,
one
yeah.
fucked me up as a kid.
Yeah. But Labyrinth in the 80s, it was a great musical,
Some
but
David
it was
Bowie.
scary. Yeah. As Jareth. Oh,
Mhm.
God. Dirty Dancing for sure is an 80s iconic legend. No, you've
I
seen
will
it.
say that is a guilty pleasure for me.
I know it is. It's got to be guilty pleasure for
shout
everybody.
out to my madre for showing me Dirty Dancing.
Oh,
I think
it's so
everyone's
good.
mom has shown them that movie.
Because you cannot not watch that.
She's the reason I love Patrick Swayze. So
Good. And then the last one I have is the original Hairspray by John Waters,
Okay.
which is whack, but it's so good.
It's John Waters.
It's
so
crazy
it's
as
John
hell.
Waters. He
but it
got
was
somebody to
great.
eat shit in a movie
Yeah.
before.
But it was a great
I
movie.
think that was her idea to eat the shit.
Well, that's fucked up.
Her?
Yeah. Divine.
Yeah, Divine.
Okay. And that concludes my list of
Good
great.
list.
Now, however, look at the screen. We forgot Gremlins.
Oh.
And I forgot The Burbs. So have you ever watched The Burbs
Yeah.
with Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
That was another movie that my dad could watch all day, every day. He fucking loved that movie. And then we forgot Splash and Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck was probably the worst movie that came out in the 80s. It's probably at the bottom
It's
of the
probably
totem
one of the
pole.
worst movies of all time.
Yeah, it was so
And
bad.
You got that on the screen.
Well, just it's the picture, you jackass. And then Trading Places was really good. It was Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy.
Another good 80s movie, Born on the 4th of July with Tom Cruise.
That was a good one. I agree with that.
Yeah. Oliver
But yeah.
Stone.
So I'm sure there's a million movies that we have missed.
I mean,
but
yeah, we could just list movies all
if,
day.
yeah,
could
if
just
anybody
keep
wants to
going.
make a comment about what
Yeah, somebody
80s
fucking
movie,
say something in the
what
comment
80s
section.
movie we missed,
I'm getting sick of commenting
Please
on
let us
our own
know.
videos. Jesus.
Please let us know.
Yes. Just say something.
And that concludes
leave a
the
period.
80s. The greatest time of movies,
Right.
in my opinion.
Moving into our next segment of documentaries.
I love documentaries.
Our favorite documentaries. I do too. But
Fucking
sometimes
love
they
them.
fuck me up a little bit.
They do. And sometimes the stories are so heartbreaking and just, you can't imagine that actually happening in real life.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
it scares the shit out of
Yeah.
me.
I think documentaries are the true horror movies.
I agree. Because it's something that really happened.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And it's fucked up. Not all of them are fucked up, but some of them.
Who's kicking this off? You want me to kick it off?
You want to? Yeah, you can.
Go for it.
So I have Capturing the Freedmans.
Definitely have that. You were the one who told me to watch that. And that fucked
will
me up.
Fuck you up.
Yeah.
That
it's
is on
intense.
HBO Max, everybody. Check it out.
On Max, you mean?
Yeah. Matt. Fucking asshole.
I did it this time, Philip, instead of you.
Let me talk.
But that one will fuck you up. It was
it will.
crazy.
Can't forget Gimme Shelter, where you get to see the Hells Angels fucking kill a guy.
Oh, right.
I didn't
yeah.
see that.
That's the Rolling Stones documentary where they hired the Hells Angels to be security for them.
I didn't see that.
They ended up stabbing a guy or
They ended
something.
up fucking
Really?
a dude up, killing him.
Oh my
I think
God.
they stabbed him over like
have to
16,
watch
17
that.
times.
Yeah.
Something crazy.
Yeah.
I have a film called Hoop Dreams,
Okay.
I didn't write it down, but I have seen it.
and I suggest a lot of people to watch this one because it's actually really good. It follows the lives of two inner city Chicago boys who struggle to become college basketball players on the road to going professional.
Yeah, it's a good
It's
documentary.
Really good documentary. I put these two together because it's the same guy. Bowling for Columbine and Fahrenheit 9/11.
Yep.
9/11
Roger,
was a
what's
tragedy.
his name? Michael Moore?
Michael Moore.
Yeah.
Michael Moore.
Whether
Michael
you agree with his politics or whatever, he is a good documentary
Yeah.
filmmaker.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'd even put the other one, Fahrenheit 11/9.
Yeah.
on there, too.
2017, I think it was.
Hearts of Darkness, the documentary about the shit show of a production that Apocalypse Now had.
Right.
I've heard of that, but I haven't watched it.
It's really good. Four Little Girls by Spike Lee,
I
about
haven't watched
the four little black girls that were killed in a bombing at a church.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's rough. So this came on History Channel every year, and I would watch it. And I feel like it's necessary for every person to watch it. It's called 102 Minutes That Changed America. And it is nothing but footage of 9/11 from the footage of people. There's no narration. There's no commentary. It's just the sound from the cameras.
Mm.
And it's how that day unfolded, because that's the amount of time it took from that first plane to the last plane to the towers falling. 102 minutes.
Damn.
And it's just so eerie. It's so eerie. I'm going to lighten the mood a little bit. Shout out to Shane Gillis about this. He was talking about like a friend of his that was rollerblading through New York on 9/11. And apparently like he saw smoke and saw people freaking out. Was like, I got to get the fuck out of here. And Shane was like, this motherfucker was rollerblading down the George Washington. And he was like, and heroes and fire trucks walked by. And the last thing they saw was, or thought before they died was, look at this gay guy on rollerblades.
Rollerblades.
Look at this gay guy on rollerblades.
That's crazy.
Super Size Me. I see that up on the screen.
Yeah.
They showed that to us in school.
Yeah, I saw it in school too.
Yeah.
Health class.
Yeah. It's actually, I mean, it's pretty eye-opening, you know.
Yeah.
And rest in peace to this guy. Navalny came out a couple years ago. It's about the Russian, he was, or I think he was campaigning against Putin and he got poisoned. and people think that Putin tried to poison him. The guy just passed away, I think, this last week. He was in prison, Russian prison, and died of lack of something. But it's about how he gets wrongfully imprisoned and about him getting poisoned and stuff.
Damn.
And it's Putin's a piece of shit. I don't care if you're listening to this. You fucking suck. You fucking suck. Fuck you and your fucking bears in cold weather, bitch. I'm gonna shit on you Ruskies a little more. Icarus.
Icarus. I have seen that one.
How they exposed them Ruskies on doing the steroids. Bunch of cheating ass motherfuckers. That's why they're not called Team Russia no more. Because y'all are cheaters. Push the red button. See what we do. Actually, hang on. No, never mind.
Don't do that.
Don't press the red button.
No, please don't.
We've got a president that I don't know if he even knows where the red button is. So please don't get in a nuclear war with us. I
love corn pop on you.
I have The Jinx about Robert Durst, who was suspected of the murder of his wife back in the 60s. He's like a billionaire. And he got suspected of another murder in the 80s or 90s. And in this documentary, he basically admits to it because he forgets that the microphone is on his shirt and he goes to take a piss.
Oh, my God.
And starts talking to himself.
Damn.
They didn't turn the mic off.
What's it called? Jinx?
The Jinx. It's on HBO. Came out probably like 10 years ago, and part 2's coming out now. Apparently this he is like 100 years old and he's still fucking alive.
Damn.
I don't know how. But the story's crazy. Definitely crazy. So my favorite documentary is Citizen4 about Edward Snowden.
Oh, yeah. You told us about that. I have not watched that.
That, everybody, I swear to God, is the scariest movie of all fucking time.
Citizen4, right?
Citizen4.
Like the number 4?
Yeah. Whatever you want to think about him, I think he did the right thing. He let us know that they're fucking watching.
Yep.
They're looking at me right now on this fucking phone. I'm flipping my FBI agent off right now. But definitely, when somebody tells you to put your phone into the microwave right when you walk in the door, you know shit's real. The Staircase. You familiar with that one?
Mm-mm.
Really?
Mm-mm.
His name Jordan Peterson. His wife fell down the stairs, and he got convicted of it. And they think because he had this personal life, he was a gay guy. Like
Interesting.
And they actually made it into a miniseries on HBO with Colin Firth and Toni Collette playing the wife.
I have not heard of it.
But apparently, they think an owl did it because there were certain lacerations in her skull.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did further investigating on her hair samples, and there was microscopic feathers from a bird.
Wow.
Damn.
So he got exonerated for her murder.
He trained the owl.
I'm about to say.
He
was
did
it
that.
like a fucking parrot or something?
He did the Alfred plea, so he's still...
The Alfred plea.
Yeah.
So he is still convicted. He's just
out.
Yeah, he's just out.
Yeah. Making a Murderer.
Mm-hmm.
That one fucked me up. Evil Genius. That's the pizza guy that had the bomb around his neck, and they forced him to go rob a bank.
No, I've never seen that. What's it called? Evil Genius?
Evil Genius.
I think I've seen that. I just
Yes.
not seen it. I think I've seen it advertised.
Pretty good. Netflix.
Okay.
And then Paradise Lost.
Damn, I just wrote that because I just remembered it.
If you want to see
all of them,
real life character development, watch all three
All three of them.
Paradise Lost because there's a stepdad in the first one.
Oh, I know.
That's, I wish them motherfucking devil worshippers would fucking die.
Yeah.
And then by the third one, he's trying to help get them out.
Yeah.
Damn.
They also did the Alfred plea.
Yeah, the West Memphis 3.
Yep. So fun fact, I used to work at a large college that doesn't exist anymore, and we had a criminal justice department, and one of the instructors actually wrote a book and interviewed Jesse Misskelley and his family.
Wow.
About his time in jail. It was after they were released. His time in jail. And some of the students got to go with her and interview them. They got to meet Baldwin and Misskelley. They didn't get to meet Damien, but they met the other two and interviewed them and their families about what had happened. It was a huge thing.
It's one of those ordeals where they took advantage of coercing somebody that's a little bit unintelligent.
Correct.
And
100%.
admitting to something they didn't do.
I mean, those documentaries will tear you into pieces.
So I forget what the name of the movie was. It had Reese Witherspoon and Colin Firth. It was about those murders. Apparently a black man walked into a fast food restaurant.
Bojangles.
Yeah, the
covered in blood.
Covered in blood.
Yep.
That's how that movie started.
Yep. Because that's what they think happened.
And he's just crying.
Yeah.
Damn.
And they didn't take no samples of the blood that he was covered in. That was all over the walls in the bathroom.
Yep.
Damn.
It was kind of sucks because that movie ended up not being that good. But it insinuates that the stepdad did it, who I think did.
Well, one of the stepdads.
Yeah.
Not the douche that's loud as hell. I forgot their names.
You know, when there's multiple stepdads, things are fucked up.
Yeah,
you know,
shit's not good. But that is.
But those
concludes my
documentaries
list.
tear me up. Philip, you want to go next?
sure.
I'll go last.
I only have a few, but
Okay.
Up first, I got Harlan County, USA, and we actually watched a little bit of it in film school. I don't know if you remember,
I
but
think I do.
I grew up like maybe 40 minutes away from Harlan County, so
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
yeah, so it's kind of it's one I had seen before, like in high school and stuff,
Right.
and it's about the coal strikes that happened there in the 70s.
Oh,
and
shit.
people were like shot, and
Yeah.
you know, it was a legitimate war. you
Yeah,
know?
it was a big deal
Wow.
back
Yeah.
then.
And I've heard this before somewhere, but I think that's where the term redneck came from, because they wore red scarves around their necks like the strikers did.
What'd you call
Really?
me?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's a good documentary. It's nostalgic for me because that's where I grew up.
Yeah.
Up next, I got The Social Dilemma, which
Oh, yeah.
It's a great one.
Yep.
yeah,
It really makes you think.
it really outlines the evil of social media, and
Yeah.
like,
Very much so.
I agree.
and the hardest part of watching it is because in today's age, you can't not use social media. Like,
Right.
It's
That's true.
way harder to do that than you think.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we create content on the internet, we have to use it. Like,
Yeah.
there's no other way.
Yep.
I got the Putin interviews by Oliver Stone. Yeah, so this took place before all the shit in Ukraine.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happened since then, but it's
Yeah. We're staying out of that.
right. Yeah, it's a really interesting
Perspective.
perspective, because Oliver Stone goes in like as unbiased as possible,
Mhm.
you know, and just tries to talk to Putin like a person, you know.
I mean,
Yeah.
so I don't know if you remember the part in it. He was talking about how the big deal is they won't join NATO,
Right.
and all the NATO countries are what surrounds Russia. And
Mhm.
every time
Yeah.
there's a NATO country, the U.S. puts a missile pad in each NATO country
Right.
pointed at Russia. And he's sitting there telling Oliver Stone, he's like, how would you feel if you have everything from the south aimed towards you, and then we have U.S. battleships in the sea to the north of them? Like,
Right.
and I'm not saying I agree with anything this fucking idiot does,
Right.
but I understand why he would be afraid. Because I mean, we don't have Russian missile pads aimed at us.
I mean, it's like the Russians all throughout history have wanted to do things their own way.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's not just Putin. That's just how Russians are.
Yeah.
You know?
What if we just left them the fuck alone?
Yeah. That's all they want.
Well, I don't
Well,
know.
I mean,
No.
if they need land or something, they wouldn't hesitate to
Yeah.
invade.
Yeah.
They wouldn't hesitate to invade Ukraine. Let's say.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true.
Like,
That's true.
but yeah, I don't want to get too political, whatever.
Fuck Putin is what we're trying to get to.
But up next, I got more politics.
Oh, yay.
Another Oliver Stone. It's JFK Revisited
Yep.
Through the Looking Glass.
Yep.
It's he made the movie JFK in what was it, the early 2000s,
1990.
97, not something
No,
like
it
that.
was like 1991, 92.
Okay,
Yeah, it was
And-
pretty early.
yeah, and then since that movie has come out, there have been documents
Oh.
declassified about the JFK assassination,
Right.
and this is kind of like this is basically the documentary about what they found.
Yeah.
And yeah, I won't spoil anything, but
I just want to.
I mean, is it?
If anybody
it,
thinks
yeah.
Lee Harvey Oswald
Yeah.
did that shit,
Yeah,
wake the fuck up.
yeah. It says basically it says that the Lee Harvey Oswald and the magic bullet thing is bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody put
Like-
that shit on a gurney,
Right. Yeah.
and there was 6 shots.
Right.
There were 6 shots fired.
6 or 7, I can't remember.
So they just had him in a huge crossfire.
Right.
Is what it was. There was probably somebody behind the fence, and there was probably somebody on the grassy knoll.
Right.
They're just connecting at once because
Yeah.
he gets. I mean, just look at the Zapruder film, people.
Right.
The fucker gets shot in the neck,
Yep.
and then the way his head flaps back.
Yep.
It's just get me going.
Get you all riled
It just
up.
pisses me off that our government won't admit to shit
Right.
when
Say-
it's clear as day.
I know.
They finally gave us aliens. They finally gave us that.
I'm not gonna. I don't believe them until I see the bodies. I want to see the bodies. I want to see the ships.
Oh no,
Like-
I believe it. I believe it.
I mean, if they're gonna say it's real, why not just show us? You know,
I mean, they've released the Tic Tac video. You've seen the Tic Tac, haven't you?
I've heard of it. I don't think I've seen the video.
Dude, that motherfucker's humming. Dude, that motherfucker is humming. I think it's like one of those fighter jets. He was following it,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he was keeping up with it. Dude, and this fucker was just staying in the most steady of line, and it wasn't picking up on radars or anything like that.
Wow. Yeah. Well, anyway, that's all I got for
That's
doc.
what you got?
Well,
All right.
I guess I'm doing the main one, but
Yep. Julia,
Well, I've got a damn list.
Jules, family, Jules.
So there's one that I forgot the name of, and I'm trying to look it up real quick. And it tore me to pieces. I don't remember the name of it.
Grizzly Man.
No,
Ooh, let's throw that in there though.
it's not that. It's called.
I have to say so the footage of
Oh,
him
yeah,
dying
yeah,
that
yeah.
Herner Herzog listens to.
Yeah.
It's on the internet,
Right.
and I listen to it,
Yeah. It's
and
pretty
it is
bad.
the most horrible thing I've ever
Right.
heard in my life.
Because you know, like, if a bear like is gonna kill you, it's gonna stand on your chest and bite hunks out
It's
of you.
yeah,
You know?
dude. All it is a grown man screaming
Yeah.
like a woman, dude.
Yeah.
And when you hear a grown man screaming like that,
Yeah.
it turns your stomach inside out.
It's
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 horrible.
horrifying.
Is
Do
that your
not
favorite
advise
documentary, Julia?
anybody.
No,
Do not advise. Good documentary though.
Well, let's hear him, Julia.
I know. Well,
Come
hold on. I'm
on.
trying to find this one. It's really important.
Smokes. let's
Okay,
go.
so
Let's go.
trying to figure out the name of this documentary. I forgot. Okay, I don't remember the name of it. Damn it! But it's a documentary. I don't remember the name of it, but it basically was talking about how back in the 80s, all the young teen male actors of the 80s were being sexually abused by the higher powers in Hollywood. And that's where I found out that a certain particular pretty big director was included in that, because they actually drop his name in it. And I will never watch any of his movies because of that. I forgot the name of it. I will find it and I will let everybody know, because it's so rough to watch. They actually interview the families and some of the teen stars from back then. It's probably one of the reasons why Corey Haim was so fucked up and died at such an early age, was because he was just
Jesus.
I know Corey Feldman put out his own documentary called the Rape of Two Coreys. It was about an hour and a half. They only released it
over here.
They only released it for like that long. Like, it was one of those ones where if you didn't get to see it, you probably will never see it again. Like, you may be able to find it on YouTube. But it's Corey Feldman talking about what happened in Hollywood and pretty much why Corey Haim died at such a young age, because he was just so fucked up.
Damn.
And why a lot of them commit suicide. A lot of those 80s male child actors committed suicide.
Right.
It's rough. It's a rough one to watch. Both of those are rough ones to watch. So I've got new ones and old ones. I'm a connoisseur of documentaries. I feel like I love them. Like, I could watch them all day long. Doesn't matter what the topic is. I just like to watch them. So I watched a newer one on Netflix called Lover, Stalker, Killer. And this is why I am terrified of online dating. I'm terrified of it, because this man, so that's what it's about. It's about an online dating. This man met a woman and she went psycho. Literally burned. Well, he met a woman. She went psycho. He didn't know she was the psycho. He thought somebody else was the psycho. It's a whole rabbit hole.
The woman went psycho?
Yes, but he didn't
Sounds
know it
about
was
right.
her, because she was acting like it wasn't her.
Broads, am I right?
I'm gonna shut up. But it's intense. So watch Lover, Stalker, Killer. Watch Lover, Stalker, Killer. It's so good. I also watched the new one, I hate you, called The Greatest Night in Pop, which was the We Are the World recordings, and I loved it, and I cried, and I loved it. I also had Capturing the Freedmans, Metallica, Some Kind of Monster. That was a great documentary. I freaking loved it. I also have a gigantic obsession with watching documentaries about polygamy. Gigantic. I only picked one because I love it's so fascinating to me. That lifestyle is so fascinating.
Polygamy is multiple wives, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's usually there's several like categories. Like there's the FDLS, and then there's some other.
Right.
But it's called Keep Sweet, Pray, and Obey. It's on Netflix, and it's about Warren Jeffs.
Do you want multiple wives? Is that
no,
one?
not at all. But as a woman, it's so heartbreaking to watch their stories, because they go through so much shit. These are women, or not even women, they're girls who are married into these marriages like 14 years old to these like 50-year-old men that have 26 other wives, right? And have 100 kids.
Oof.
It's tough. And that's a really tough story, because they actually interview one of Warren Jeff's actual children, who he tried to marry off when she was like 16.
Right.
It was rough. Again, why I am petrified of online dating. The Tinder Swindler,
Yep, I watched
which
that
was
one.
very popular, about the guy who was just making his rounds around the United States, stealing women's money.
Yeah, I think I heard.
It was crazy.
I haven't seen it, but I've heard about it.
Yeah, it's a crazy story. And I loved the Won't You Be My Neighbor, the Mr. Rogers story. I cried like a damn baby.
God.
Did you cry?
Yeah, me and
man.
my mom watched that together, and we fucking bawled.
Yeah, it was tough.
When he does that, when they did it so well with the let's take a minute and think about
Yeah.
the ones who are important to you in your life and
Yeah.
helped you out, and it shows all the people they've been asking the questions to, interviewing.
It was tough.
And they're all sitting there for a minute thinking, and you just slowly see them start
tearing up.
It's just that's probably one of the best.
It was so good.
documentaries ever.
I think I watched it a couple times because I was just putting myself through pain twice.
He's such a good fucking human being.
He was. He truly was.
Like usually people like that have some skeletons in their closet. He was just
he
a
didn't.
perfect guy. And that's
Right.
what we need. We need more Mr. Rogers in this world.
I agree.
You know?
He was such a great person, and he always had such great messages to hand out when you're a kid.
We got a pussy on the move.
Leave her alone. Next is American Murder: The Family Next Door, which is about the Chris Watts who killed his wife and his kids and put him in the water tower.
Christ.
That was tough as hell to watch too, man. I was crying like a baby.
Isn't it crazy when the cops first are questioning him about it, the body cam, he's standing by his TV and the commercial pops up that has 3 skulls covered in that oil like substance. It was just like, it's like God trying to tell everybody this motherfucker just killed his kids and his.
Was it in a water tower or was it in an oil tower? I don't
It was
remember.
like it was like oil tanks,
Yeah.
Oil tanks. Okay.
like drums. Like, you know,
That was a tough one to watch.
Yes,
Like
'cause
what a
one of
douche.
one of the kids were still alive when he had
when he did it. Yep.
the yeah.
Makes you want to
Fucking
punch
piece of
somebody in the face,
shit.
right?
yep.
Fucking
it's-
piece of shit.
It's awful.
Yep.
I think you guys may have seen the hatchet wielding hiker. That was a stupid popular.
Hatchet, the hash slinging slasher. Is that what you just said?
No, the hatchet wielding hiker.
That's SpongeBob.
It was huge on the news.
We're
about
talking
the
documentaries here, Julia.
not SpongeBob. It was about the hiker who
Had a hatchet.
found the dead people, found somebody that had died and was all over the news. And it ended up being him, but he had everybody fooled. It was a huge story.
I don't
Why
know.
You have to
why
watch
would the
it.
cops not automatically assume that this homeless guy,
You have to
the
watch
first
it because
person
it
to
is crazy.
discover the crime scene, is not your prime suspect?
It's crazy. 3 Identical Strangers. I don't know if you guys have watched that one. That one is about
3 Identical Strangers.
it was a triplets who were separated at birth
Oh wow.
and found each other years down the road, but they all lived such different lives. And when they like one had a really rough life, one had like a normal life, and one had like the rich life.
So, how do you have to get a C-section to get 3 babies out, or
Yes.
are y'all pumping those things
No.
out one after another?
It was most likely a C-section.
I mean, do
I don't think anybody
do
cares,
women
really.
pump those things out?
Yes.
Like
I don't know if you can. I don't know.
if you got
Only
a
had one.
2-pack in there, do they come out one at a time?
Philip, I'm going to need you to rope
I'm
him in,
trying
please.
to educate myself. Sorry.
Man, I was kind of just listening. I kind of want to hear the answer too.
Yeah, exactly.
American Nightmare is a newer one. Now we're moving on. We're
my
moving on
my
from that
mom
shit.
would know. Shoot me a text, Mom, when you listen to this.
American Nightmare is a newer one as well, and that's about what they consider the real life Gone Girl. You know, the movie Gone Girl. It was
Okay.
the same thing happened to this girl,
Mhm.
and they thought that everybody was lying, that she was lying.
Right.
But it was a pretty good documentary. I enjoyed it. It's a newer one. The Beatles Get Back, the taping of their last album. That was really good. I watched that with somebody.
It's like 16
And
hours long.
It is.
It's solidified.
We watched it in parts. We had to.
It's solidified why George Harrison is my favorite Beatle.
Yeah, it was a great.
Because it's just fucking John and Paul just trying to take credit
Yeah,
for everything.
it
But
was.
George was a talented motherfucker.
I like
And then-
Mick Jagger.
And then what?
Mick Jagger.
And then they filmed the song up on the rooftop.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Get
The music
Back.
was so good in it too.
Jojo was a man who thought he
Yeah.
was a man.
Yeah, it
He'll
was so
get us
good.
copyright strikes, man.
If I sing it
fired.
myself, that's a
You're
cover.
fired.
It's a
Yeah.
cover.
Your voice is just too good. Yeah.
Oh man, shit.
Sounds too much like the original.
You're dumb. And then The Most Hated Man on the Internet, if you have not watched that one, is so fucking good too. That's about that dude who got pissed off at his girlfriend or dating or whatever, and he took nudes of her, and then he posted it all over the internet, and they were like, and then he just kept doing it, like, and it made a site. There was a site where people could like oust or whatever your whoever you were dating and post their nudes on the internet. It was
Dox
a
them.
huge thing. It was a huge big deal when he
Jesus
did that.
Christ.
But he was noted as the most hated man on the internet because of what he did.
I'd believe it.
And then the last one I have, which
Knucklehead.
fucked me up, and I was crying like a baby, was Don't Fuck with Cats.
Yeah, we don't need to go into that one.
That one, I also watched that with somebody, and I was beside myself the entire time. I was so...
I can't do it. I don't even want to think about it. So let's
These two are cat people.
let's move
so-
on. Yeah.
Yeah. The good thing is that I got through it because they didn't physically show it. They bleep. They like blur it, I guess, or bleep it. So you don't physically see it. That was the only way I made it through it, was because I didn't actually have to see
Next.
the deed. And that's it.
Can't
That
do
was
it.
my
It's
last
making my
one,
stomach
was
hurt.
Don't Fuck with Cats.
So a couple came to mind. Have you ever seen The Cove?
No.
So these guys, I'm sorry for one of these countries. I don't know which one it is. Who is it? Japan that's famous for killing dolphin, or China?
I think both of them are.
Well, these
One of them.
these filmmakers go to like
One of them.
they go to one of the coves,
Uh-huh.
and there's this certain cove around this mountain, and it's just them fucking. It's just terrible.
No.
It's terrible.
I'm going to write it down, though. Damn it.
I believe it won best documentary of the year it came out.
Have you seen the thing they do in like some weird country in Northern Europe where they live in this like little bay, and then once every like few months, a bunch of whales will like swim into this bay, and then everyone in this village stops what they're doing to run down to the beach and kill these fucking whales
What?
with spears and
Are
shit.
you serious?
Yeah.
What the
Yeah.
hell?
Yeah.
Some primitive shit.
And then they eat the meat like for the year, like,
Well, I'm sure.
It's pretty smart.
Oh my God.
but it's like
that is terrifying.
doesn't matter if you're at work, if you're at school, in the hospital, whatever.
God
Everyone
damn.
drops what they're doing, runs down to the beach to get some whale meat.
That is terrifying.
It's been in a couple of different documentaries. I forget the name of the town because it's like a mile long fucking word. So
That's awful. That
It-
sounds awful, and
Yeah.
I never want to see it.
Another one that came to mind was Going Clear.
What?
Going
Going
Clear.
clear?
About them psychos, Scientologists. Tells the whole story.
Oh, I may have seen that. I did watch not the series, but I did watch a documentary about
I'm
Scientology.
pretty sure it's only on YouTube.
I
Pretty
did
sure
watch
that's what I
one.
watched it on. Was on
they
YouTube.
ever find Miss Cabbage or whatever?
That motherfucker is running, dude.
He's
Dude,
gone.
yeah.
He went full Bin Laden,
Yeah.
dude. He's in a cave somewhere.
No, what
hiding out.
I bet you he did. I bet you he is a woman, in my opinion.
Maybe.
It's a very controversial statement.
It is, but I bet you. I mean, what better way to hide?
That or he
It's
offed
gonna be
himself.
Yeah,
a
or
black
he's
car is
dead,
going to
yeah.
pull up outside. And like,
I know Tom Cruise
Yeah.
gonna show up at the
Tom
front door.
Cruise, Tom Cruise walks in and just kidnaps us all.
That's a lie.
Oh shit.
he actually looks like his character from Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
Like, Mission Impossible and stuff. That's where he gets the makeup.
Oh man, that's fucked up. But that was
Yeah.
I was all on my list. Philip, have you thought of any more other than the one you're about to announce?
Ryan mentioned the Cove. There's a Seaspiracy.
Yep.
I've barely eaten fish at all since I've watched that.
Really?
That's about the
documentary.
salmon, right?
It mentions salmon, but
Yeah.
the whole thing is about how like the fishing industry is destroying the ocean and stuff. Like, dude, it said that there's gonna be zero life in the ocean by like 2035 or something like that.
Oh
That's
no.
what we like to hear.
Yeah, if we keep going at this rate.
Oh god. You know that they had like
That's where I
there's a lack
saw the
there's like a lack of crawfish this season.
Yeah. That's where I saw the I think it's in Finland, the Finnish people stabbing the whales. Yeah.
Oh god.
Like,
Why do people do that shit? That pisses
that's
me
just
off,
tradition.
dude.
That's how they
I
get their
don't care.
food.
I
Doing
don't
that
give a
shit for
damn.
thousands of years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Go to the grocery store.
Yeah. Seaspiracy. I think that's it. I don't watch a lot of shit, you know.
I know.
It's
I
just-
love documentaries. I really do.
I got a circle of things I like to watch, and I don't stray too far from
You
it.
need to stray a little bit. You need to watch. some
I'll
of those.
stray when I feel like straying. How about that?
when you're bored.
Yeah. But keeping with the documentary theme,
Yep.
we're gonna have one for our main movie, our weekly suggestion, and this one is called Heartworn Highways. It's one I suggested. It's probably my favorite documentary. Directed and shot by James Zalapsky, I think's how you say it.
I think that might be right.
And it's basically a like a record of the outlaw country scene in the mid 1970s in Texas and Tennessee. It's relevant to us because we're in Nashville,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yep.
a big chunk of the film takes place in Nashville.
I really enjoyed it too.
I did too. I
I
loved the
really
music
enjoyed
for
it.
sure.
Yeah, and it's kind of the same problems that musicians are dealing with today in Nashville. It's
Yeah.
like the record companies are all corporate, you know.
Right.
You to get a record deal, you have to know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, you know.
Yeah.
And like what these guys did in the 70s was create this sort of like cult following, and they called it outlaw country. And it's basically the punk movement of country music.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
It was all about creative freedom and just freedom in general, honestly. And even if that meant a lack of financial success. So
Yeah.
that's important because a lot of these guys were fucking homeless. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They just hitchhiked from town to town playing music in tiny little bars, and, you know.
Yeah. And that's what country music is to me.
Yeah. I
is-
agree.
Is that, and that's what I think that's what I really enjoyed about it, was like that's true country music right there.
Right. Mhm.
That's like the origin of country music.
Yeah. Two of the artists that are featured prominently are two of my favorite of all time, and that's Townes Van Zandt, the man you see on the screen with the on the right with the denim shirt and the white cowboy hat. His music's just incredible. You know, it's, if you've ever listened to him, you know what I mean. And it also features Guy Clark, another favorite musician of mine, who is Guy Clark and Townes were like best friends in real life. So,
Really.
some other artists it features are David Allan Coe and Steve Young. It features a Charlie Daniels
Yeah. Charlie
playing
Daniels
a
Band.
show in a
Yep.
high school gym.
Yep.
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 Yeah.
I was like, that shit. When I saw that, I was like, man, what lucky motherfuckers right there.
Right.
Yeah, dude. And,
That was the 70s for you, though. They could
Yeah.
just get away with that shit back then.
Yep. His hair wasn't even gray.
Yeah.
Nope.
Like,
It looked weird.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, I've never seen
Yeah.
Charlie Daniels
It throws
without
you off.
white hair.
Yeah. There's a scene towards the end where it's a bunch of guys hanging out at Guy Clark's house, and they're just drinking, sitting around playing music, and one person breaks out into a song, and that person is Steve Earle, the Copperhead Road guy. And he was 17 at the time, and that
Wow.
was his very first recorded musical performance, was in that scene.
Interesting.
I mean, it would take too long to mention every artist that's in the movie, but like I said, it touches on the same sort of like gripes that Nashville has today, you know. It's like the more things change, the more they stay the same, you know.
Yeah. No, I
Um,
know.
One place that is like featured prominently is the Wigwam Tavern,
Mhm.
which apparently is not open anymore.
Yeah.
And I can't find a definite answer, but I think the Germantown pub is in the same place that the Wigwam Tavern was.
Oh, wow.
I don't think it's the same building, but
In the same
right.
land.
Yeah, yeah. But I couldn't find a definite answer on that. There's a funny scene where in that tavern, the owner, his name's Big Mac McGowan.
Yeah.
He expresses his disappointment with the Grand Ole Opry as it's taken like a more corporate sort of feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he goes on to say, Johnny Cash has already shot his wad.
I love that.
One of my favorite parts was David Allan Coe singing at the Tennessee
prison. Yeah.
prison.
Yeah.
And telling the story about how he was a prisoner at one point, or an inmate at one point.
Right.
He brought inmates on stage, right, to sing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a song that
he did in prison, right?
Right. Yeah. They said they used to sing it on the yard together.
Yeah,
or something
that's
like
right.
that.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
I love that.
But yeah, like if you love music or if you're even just from Nashville, I mean, I think you'll really like this documentary. Where did you guys watch it at? Like what platform?
Apple.
I rented it from Apple TV.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about the only place I could find it. Was,
Yeah. $3.99.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
You can order the fucking Blu-ray from Amazon, but you can't. You can't stream it apparently.
But it's worth
Yeah, definitely.
spending the money just because
Yeah, I like
it. They don't make documentaries like that anymore, and I'm glad you suggested that because it was a whole new world of a documentary for it. It really reminded me of damn, I should have put it on my list. It reminded me a lot of The Last Waltz, directed by Scorsese,
talking about the band.
The band,
yeah. I actually watched this on the Belcourt's website.
Really?
It was during COVID, and they were doing like a virtual movie theater thing.
Huh. Damn, that would have been awesome to see at the Belcourt.
Yeah.
I wonder if they would have showed it in 35.
Maybe. Could have, but like I said, it was COVID, so nothing was open. So
everybody's a bunch of bitches wearing masks.
Dude, the Belcourt was like the last establishment to hang on to those masks, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I think even now they'll say like you need a mask sometimes. Like,
yeah, but it's kind of redundant because you go to your seat and you got to take the mask off to eat popcorn and drink. So
I don't want to keep talking politics. So.
No politics.
Yeah. Good movie. Heartworn Highways.
Yep.
Y'all
I
got
give it 2
anything?
thumbs up, like Roger Ebert would say.
Yeah.
And we got the shit on the screen.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We need you to go to YouTube and subscribe if you haven't already.
If you're already on YouTube, go to Spotify.
We
Listen to it twice.
We get a lot more views than we do subscribers, and I don't like that. That means you are not hitting the subscribe button. So you should, or else I'm going to find you, and I'm going to cause pain.
Be careful.
Yeah, I had to think about that one.
Careful.
Like, comment, say something. Fuck. We got a TikTok. We got a Spotify.
And them damn Tic Tacs.
Yep, Tic Tacs.
And an Instagram.
Damn China. And, Julie said it. We've got an Instagram. And then you can email us at cinephilerehab@gmail.com.
Sorry.
Excuse me.
Dick pics will be accepted.
Yep.
And reviewed.
Yep.
No.
We will review.
Analyzed. And
yep. Yep.
I will not be participating.
And if women
in
want
that.
to send pictures of their tits, we will be more than happy to rate those as well.
No.
We can't
That's
do
too
that.
far. No.
But we can ask for dick pics, but we can't ask for tit pics. Fuck.
What kind of world is this, Philip?
Jesus Christ. This is America. All right, guys.
Thank y'all for coming. White power!
Good night.